All right, guys, so we're going over multi-step equations and inequalities. The notes are going to say equations, but inequalities are done the exact same way. They just have that inequality sign, so I'm going to talk about that as well. So for your notes for today, it says two or more operations or steps need to be done to solve the equation. So that's what makes it a multi-step. So we just worked on one step before. So if I'm going fast, obviously you can pause the video. You could pause it at the end of the page and copy and just listen while I talk. Totally up to you. So if we've got the problem 2x plus 3 equals 7. So we have two sides of that equation. I drew my little dotted line going down. Again, something you do not need to do. But so the first thing you want to do is the operation that you can do without the variable. So you'll notice we have two operations. We've got 2 times x going on, and then we have an addition plus 3. So this is the one without the variable, so we want to move that first. And remember, what we do to one side, we have to do to the other side of the equation, or inequality. So we're going to subtract 3 from both sides, draw our line underneath, and then bring down everything from there. So we bring down the 2x, the equal sign, and then 7 minus 3 gives me 4. So now we need to get that x, or that variable, by itself. So now we have 2x equals 4. So we're turning this into a one-step equation. Since this is 2 times x, we do the opposite, which is division. We divide both sides by 2, okay? That will cancel out the 2's, and you're left with x equals 2. Now, you can check your work. You take what you get as your answer and you plug it back in for the x in the equation. So originally this was 2x plus 3 equals 7. So you're going to do 2 times the value of x that you found plus 3 equals 7 and see if it comes out to be true. If it does come out to be true, then you're good and you have it correct. If it does not come out to be true, then you have it wrong and you made a mistake somewhere here and you need to go back and check it. Okay? So pause the video so that you can finish writing, and then press play when you're ready. And here is another example. If I have 25 equals 1/4 times n minus 3. So you want to do the operation that does not involve the variable first. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides of my equation. This will cancel out, and I will be left with 1/4 times n equals 28. Now I've turned it into a one step. So since this is 1/4 times n, I'm going to divide both sides by 1/4. That will cancel out the ones here. And when you do 28 divided by 1/4, which is 0.25, you get 112 equals n. You plug that back into the original problem for the n. So we've got 25 equals 1/4 times the 112 instead of n minus 3. When we do that, we get 25 equals 25. So we know that it is good. And then this one down here, 6 minus 3x equals 21. So we're going to subtract 6 from both sides first. That's going to get rid of the 6's on this side and leave us with, remember, you have to have this negative right here, don't forget. This is attached to the 3x. So we've got negative 3x equals 15. And then you're going to go ahead and divide both sides by a negative 3. That was a big yawn. By a negative 3. And that would give you x equals negative 5. You plug negative 5 back in for where x is in your equation. So we've got 6 minus 3 instead of times x times negative 5 equals 21. When you solve that out, you get 21 equals 21, so you know it is correct. So you do the same exact thing when you have inequalities, and those inequality rules still count. So you can pause if you are still writing, and I'm going to, give me one moment here to get to your inequalities. Okay, so you've already written this one time. You are going to write it again, just so you know, as far as this big rule is concerned. So when you're solving multi-step inequalities, so this is a new heading, solving inequalities. it is the same exact rule that applies. You want to do what does not have the variable first. So if we have this right here is as an equation. This is it as an inequality. And do not worry about this graphing part right here. In fact, you do not need to write this graphing part. You don't even need to write this. You can just write what's right here. So if we have 3x plus 4 is greater than 16, you're going to move that plus 4 over first by doing the opposite and subtracting. That's going to leave us with 3x is greater than 12. And then you divide both sides by 3 since it's being multiplied, and that's going to leave you with x is greater than 4. Again, you do not need to draw this number line out. I do need you, though, to draw this or write this rule again, and that big rule is if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must switch the inequality sign. So if we have 34 minus 2g is greater than or equal to 61, we're going to subtract 34 from both sides to start. It will cancel out here, and you'll be left with negative 2g is greater than or equal to 27. Then you have to divide by a negative 2 on both sides. Since we are dividing by a negative, we're going to have g, and we have to flip our sign, is less than or equal to negative 13.5. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to keep writing, and then press play when you're ready. Okay, so here we've got negative 1/2 x plus 5 is greater than 25. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides to start. It'll cancel out here, and I'll be left with negative 1/2 times x is greater than 20. Then I am dividing by a negative 1/2 to get x by itself. So my symbol is going to flip the other direction, and I'll be left with x is less than negative 40. All right. You do not need to do 1 through 7 here. Don't even worry about it. Once you finish copying all these notes, so when you finished all pages of the notes, sorry about that. When you finish all pages of the notes, go ahead, take pictures of all pages and submit them today for your credit. Do not lose them. You're going to want to use them for tomorrow and Wednesday. So make sure that you do not lose them. All right, guys, I hope that you have a great Monday, and I will talk to you later. Bye.